Hey everyone, my name is Kemp-Cowell, and I am the head instructor of the Philadelphia Common Fencers Guild. I hope everyone is all staying safe and washing their hands during this weird and uncertain time that is the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to be filming kind of like a proto version of a series I've been talking about and planning for a really long time. That is on the tradition of Filippo Vadi and all of his weird text that a lot of people have a little bit of a difficulty understanding. I've been wanting to do this for a good little bit, so this is kind of be like a rough cut collector's edition type deal, where we go through and examine the different working parts of Vadi's system. We're going to be starting with footwork. The first quote that we have from Vadi on posture and on footwork is very simple. At least this is the one that I use to kind of start when we're talking about how we're supposed to stand and how we're supposed to fence. Put yourself in posta with sword in hand, and if you pass or return, remain side on, so that your play will not be in vain. Face to where you enter, and it will not seem strange. Second part, ensure that you match always the passes with your enemy. In all places when you strike. Either you retreat or on him, make a strike. Third part, actually striking. When you throw a reverso fendente, bend the left knee, and note this writing, stretch the right foot without changing it to the other side. When it comes to the dritto fendente, you can guess it, bend the right knee and stretch the left foot without changing it to the other side. Vadi then tells us that when we have to parry a reverso, we keep in front the right foot, and then when we're parrying a dritto, we keep in front the left foot. Among other parts of Vadi's instruction, he also tells us how to do the scrambiar, the exchange of the points, with, a small step of the left foot, right, passing with the right, bringing sword online and thrusting through. It's almost the exact same thing as Fiore Scambiar de Punta, if you are familiar with that. So, the posta themselves. Vadi seems to have two different flavors of posta. He has your traditional kind of squared stances, he has his cinghiara, he has his porta de ferro, which are sword on the side. His cinghiara does kind of look like it is very similar to Vadi's porta de ferro mezzana. It looks like it's straight downwards. I usually flavor it as being closer to the side, like we typically see. His posta di donna is actually kind of squared, but it's rested on your lead leg. But then we have things like his posta frontale, his posta vera finestra, his fucking posta sagittaria, and his posta spada di breve longhezza. I always shorten it to breve longhezza, because that shit is fucking long. I know it's got nothing on the Bolognese guards, but it's pretty goddamn close. So the short long. But yes, in my opinion, and in my interpretation of why we have these two different flavors, is that when we're having to deal with any kind of point work or largo in the very largo aspect of the fight, we probably safer being in a more squared stance. And then when we want to play from the bind, we want to play from the mezza spada, we're more likely to start in these gathered and profile positions, as they will allow us to make easier binds as you gather your feet together, and then you kind of make this demi-lunge, as I believe Guy Windsor and others have described it, towards your opponent, because you're able to gain a fair bit of distance in, so that you can start to really do some proper bind work. But my ideal kind of viewpoint of what Vadi wants us to do is when we're starting out in largo, or just outside of largo, we're going to start in one of these squared stances. If we want to play from mezza spada, we can gather our feet together from that like wide, broadly structured stance into a shortened one, launch an attack. If our opponent parries, great, then we can work from mezza spada. If we hit them, fucking great, we hit them and we get to go home. Or if we're in the middle of an exchange and it's either not going our way, or we want to try to find the mezza spada, right, we're looking for that ideal parry from our opponent or ideal bind from our opponent, we can gather back out a little bit to give ourselves a nice tempo difference, or give ourselves a little bit more space in between ourselves. We can shorten and then launch a cut or a thrust, at which point we can either hit them or acquire the bind and then work in mesospot. As for that jazz about remaining side on, think about it this way. We always want to mirror our opponent, or at least that's my interpretation of why Vadi wants us to do that, so that wherever their sword is in relation to, like, you know, point backwards cutting guard, point forwards thrusting guard, like Inclusus Factens or in Fiore, if we match where our opponent's likely trajectory is going to be with our own guard, we have more of a reasonable expectation of attempting to defend ourselves should they get the better of the tempo and launch an attack at us. So if we see our opponent in like a, for example, a posta de dana or a Fontag-like position, we want to make sure that we're in our own version of that. We also want to pair our feet so that whenever our opponent launches that cut at us, Vadi tells us that if we are paired, we will be lured and clear and be able to defend ourselves more adequately against whatever they have thrown at us. So, yeah, no, we just match whatever kind of guard our opponent has taken with our own version of our own 12 guards. I've probably adequately bored you enough now that I think it's about time that we do some shit with a spada in hand. So, the cuts, gathering into measure. Now we're going to be doing this on this side. Gather. Turn. Cut. Gather. Move the guard. Turn. Cut. So also remember that whenever we're having a person throw a reverso, we keep in front the right foot, and then when we're having somebody throwing a dritto, we keep in front the left foot. So I'm going to be right-handed for this one. So if a person is throwing a reverso fendente, I am going to bring in front the right foot and parry. Okay? And then when I'm having somebody throw a reverso fendente at me, I'm going to keep in front the left foot, okay? And then I'm going to parry. So, right foot, reverso, parry. Left foot, mandrito, parry. I wish I had somebody who throw cuts at me. This would be a whole lot easier if I just had another person, but, you know, we gotta follow social distancing and all that jazz, right? The shit's important. Do not forget it. Don't get sick. So, hopefully all this stuff was helpful for you. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to direct them either to my Facebook page or to my YouTube page, which is called Sinestra. I'm more than willing to talk at length about anything that's described here or in the rest of Vadi's text. I will be doing more videos later. Hopefully they'll have a little bit of a better production quality, and I'll actually have some people to assist me, but until COVID stops being a thing, it's probably not going to happen. I will be attempting to post these videos semi-regularly, but I am a healthcare worker, so I am dealing with the pandemic pretty much on the front lines currently. I will get around to them when I can get around to them. What else? Remember that my interpretation is my own interpretation. I was influenced by Jamie McIver, Guy Windsor. I work predominantly from Ian Davis's translation of the Arte Gladiatoria de Mikandi. And if there's anything that you think I can fine-tune, please let me know. I'm more than willing to take any kind of useful critique. We all should be when we're trying to talk about the sources and how we're supposed to interpret them. It's healthy to have critical dialogue in everything that we do. But yeah, if you notice any little flubs here or there, I probably recognize them as well, and I'm beating myself up over it. All of that being said, until next time, have a nice day.